I'm back. Rodriance for Black and White Network. Well, the other day I did a video about the fact that Justified is shooting in Chicago right now. Justified's coming back. It's going to be a limited event series. Timothy Olyphant's coming back as U.S. Deputy Marshal Raylan Givens, one of my favorite shows. That's why I did the video. Well, they had to duck and cover last week because of urban gang warfare in Chicago. Imagine that. Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice herself, and her city, after her defund the police movement, of all cities that never needed to try that, Chicago was probably the number one next to New York. We're seeing how that's turning out right now. So even the star, Timothy, had to try to shield one of the production assistants as bullets were flying. Well, now they've had to take a step. Before we get to that, though, let's just take a look real fast over the weekend in Chicago. 65 shot. Are you kidding me right now? 65 shot, 5 got killed in Chicago, with more violence across the city. Unbelievable. I mean, it's a failure of monumental proportions. Again, Democratic leadership has been in power up there for as long as we can remember, and Lori Lightfoot looks like she is going to go down as possibly the worst ever. She doesn't have time to fight crime, but she can get on stage and say F Clarence Thomas. This woman's a joke. By the way, we can drag Chicago Med into this because they're dodging bullets shot at their asses right now in Chicago. This is crazy. Justified City Primeval producer Sony hires high threat specialist for Chicago set after shooting. Bullets also hit Chicago Med set in separate incident. This is crazy as hell. They had to go out and hire a special team of security. And these guys, they're not no joke either. Sony has beefed up production on the Chicago set of Justified City Primeval after last week's shooting, including the addition of a security team trained in high-threat situations. This is exactly the kind of guys you need to go in and clean up Chicago. Deadline has learned that a trained hostage negotiator who provides security detail globally has arrived in Chicago to provide an added layer of defense from outside threats. His team, which includes former members of Navy SEALs and Army Rangers, will focus primarily on future locations to make them as safe as possible. Wow. Those punks up there, they're going to get a rude awakening if they tie off with these guys. The team will work in concert with production, existing security teams, and the Chicago PD. Shit, if Chicago PD arrests anybody, they'll just release them. An additional precaution was made for local crew members who don't want to drive to the set. Shuttles are now available for everyone not just those that travel to Chicago from L.A. Production was halted this week, so cast and crew will be working on stages while their safety plans are reassessed. There are only a few more weeks of filming in Chicago for the 8-episode limited series. The changes in security come after cars whose occupants were engaged in a gunfight July 21st smashed through the show's barricades. No one was injured, though multiple shell casings were found on the set. The cast and crew hit the ground, took cover when the incident occurred near city's Douglas Park. Star Timothy Olyphant is reprising his role as U.S. Marshal Raylan Givens was present. One local report said 4 cars were involved in the shooting. The gunfight continued through the neighborhood. The set of Justified was not the only one to get hit by gunfire last week. Deadline confirmed that multiple bullets pierced the fence of the Chicago Med set the same day and hit at least one trailer. No one was injured in the incident, which occurred before the cast and crew were set to break for lunch. Production was not affected. The film community in Chicago is so tight-knit with Twitter feeds existing to keep locals informed of local shoots. Lately, though, at Filming Chicago has become more of a news feed to update followers about the crime that rocked local production. Wow. This is embarrassing. And yesterday I did a video over on the the main, or not main channel, but the sports channel, about the fact that the Bears look to be leaving Soldier Field. Looks like they're leaving, and it's because of high crime. They're moving to Arlington Heights out there, where crime is much, much lower. In fact, one of the lowest crime rates in all the country. But so Lori Lightfoot City has literally pushed the Bears out of Chicago. It's like 30 miles away. Absolutely crazy what's going on in Chicago. I was talking yesterday about Gianno Caldwell, the Fox commentator. His brother got shot and killed in Chicago about maybe a month ago. I mean, that's so public that Nancy Grace is about to shoot a special about it. She's already shot it. It's about to air on Fox Nation. So, I mean, this is embarrassing. It's one embarrassing thing after another. And in this case, we're talking about, like, if you include all the shootings, the things involving television shows, and the Bears, Lori Lightfoot's got a nightmare in about a 5-day span in Chicago. But no, she's got time to get up there and preach to you about social justice, and she get up there and go to concerts and worry about T-shirts that say F. Clarence Thomas and all of that. I mean, that just goes to show you how screwed up the priorities are up there. And people, what are you voting for in Chicago? I mean, really? It's been going on for years, but it just keeps getting worse because your Democrats are getting more and more radical. I mean, it's ridiculous. Now you got Eric Adams that's speaking out against Alvin Bragg. I mean, we got Democrat on Democrat altercation now over criminals being arrested and released back into the public. My God, Chicago's a dumpster fire, rolling downhill on a tire fire. This is crazy. I mean, shit. The thing about it is Timothy Olyphant in this justified set shooting, he had to cover a production assistant. He's getting ready to shoot a new Star Wars series. Okay? So, I mean, this could have been, if he'd have been hit, not only would it have been justified, that would have been like a wrap, it would have been over, but it would have bounced over and affected a future Star Wars series too, because he's playing the main character on there. This is nuts. And 65 shot over the weekend. My God. It's crazy. I am shocked there's not more of a mass exodus out of that city. I really am. Tell me what you think, Black and White Network supporters. Keep it locked here. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. Link in the description. Use promo code USA First, all one word. USA First, all one word. 25% off now.